telling you, I'm coming there. They're going to open the lockdown very soon. Oh, hello. Good evening. This is Erastus Achampong II, and this is Accra News Beat. So we are moving to the UK and the people of Bristol. Since talking of my people last week and all of the suffering, it is truly wonderful to see everybody coming together to make a stand and enforce change in all sorts of things. They pulled down the statue of Edward Colston, who was a slave trader. It's what? It's not Colston. It's what? Colston. Okay, Edward Colston. It's the same thing. Nonsense. Edward Colston. It should be Colston, because that's what he is. Just look at this video.
Take it down! Take it down!
300 years after his death, Edward Colston's fall from grace. This had begun as a Black Lives Matter demonstration, but it ended in the historic docks where Colston's ships once sailed.
Oh, you people have done very well, and you threw it in the water. But why was it even there in the first place? Apparently, they have been petitioning for it to be taken down for many, many years. Good, take it down, take them all down. The people also told the East London Council to take another one down within 48 hours. Otherwise, they will take it down. This one is called Robert Milligan. They said if you don't take it down, within that time, they will take it down. So they have to take it down. They don't want trouble. So they have to take it down. Good. Take them all down. Thank you, Queen. Now, as for this foolish lady, her name is Priti Patel. She is the Home Office Secretary. This woman has been speaking against the statue being taken down. And she's also trying to tell people to stop protesting, as it is against the lockdown rules. Just look at this video.
The Prime Minister has also expressed his views in terms of how appalling the death of George Floyd has been. However, we are in the midst of a health pandemic right now, and under the rules that we have put in place, it is illegal for gatherings of 6 or more people outside in open air to get together, and that is unacceptable. And I ask again, as I did yesterday, for people to not protest, to follow the rules that are in place, because those rules are there and they are designed to protect the NHS and save lives. I'm pretty certain that the British public would agree with me that what we saw was completely wrong. It is shameful, and quite frankly, that is why these protests should stop and they should not go ahead, and people must be mindful and stick with the rules that have been put in place. Well, I think that is utterly disgraceful. And that speaks to the acts of disorder, public disorder, that actually have now become a distraction from the cause in which people are actually protesting about and trying to empathise and sympathise with. That is completely an unacceptable act, and that speaks to the vandalism, again, as we saw yesterday in London, but sheer vandalism and disorder completely is unacceptable, and it's right actually the police follow up on that and make sure that justice is undertaken with those individuals that are responsible for such disorderly and lawless behaviour.
But what's wrong with this woman? Do you think they are your people? Foolish woman! Can you believe it? Can you imagine? How many times do you want to use the word disgraceful? Is that the only word you know? They should rather invoice the council for doing a fine job. Can you say it? Say it again. But how can you spark such an outrage for somebody who is responsible for taking over 84,000 Africans as slaves? Do you know how many of them died in the cause? Well over 19,000 men, women, and also children. And you are saying you are appalled. At what? Where was your outrage for the Windrush? Where was your outrage for the scandal? Where was your outrage for the deportation order?
Go on!
And you are the Home Office Secretary. Were you involved? You yourself, you should also go back home and learn something.
Get the fuck out!
Kweko, I don't want to talk about this foolish woman anymore. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about what else is happening. They have started pulling shows like Little Britain from Netflix and BBC iPlayer for them impersonating stereotypical black characters. So only now you are doing this thing when you should have done this long ago. So what about shows like In Sickness and in Health, Rising Damp, Laugh Thy Neighbor, Only When I Laugh? All of them, take them all down. Also, what's wrong with this man? Is his name Keith Lemon? It's not Keith Lemon. What's his name? Lee Francis. Okay, the same thing. Lee Francis. What's wrong with this man? He's rather going on camera saying he's apologizing for this thing. Look at the video.
Back in 2002, I did a show called Bo Selector. I portrayed many black people. Back then, I didn't think anything about it. People didn't say anything.
But how can you say you are sorry and you are apologizing for doing these characters? You didn't know they were offensive. You yourself, how can you say these characters, you didn't know they were offensive, but you are doing it now? But now you are rather saying sorry. Are you what's the problem? You don't want trouble, isn't it? You don't want trouble, isn't it? Take it down! Take them all down! Okay, before we go, I want to show you something. The other day, myself and Kweku, we were watching a show called Come and Dine With Me. And we saw a certain couple. And I said, Kweku, is this a real couple? Just look at this picture. I'm not going to say anything. Good evening. This hello. Please, I need to talk to Sister Eunice, come on, I just want to talk to you soon. Also, what's wrong with this man? Is it Keith Lemon? Is his name Keith Lemon? I'm not going to say anything. This thing is hurting me.